Yeah. So, but didn't they cut off his head and freeze it?
Well, there's one of the fun things about Walt Disney is that makes him fascinating is, he's a man who co-opted fables and storytelling and sort of made it like, no, Cinderella is mine now, right? And,
right.
And so
that's a hell of a way.
And now his whole life has become its own fairy tale and fable because like, is he frozen? Is like all these different things about like the lore of Walt Disney. And I'm not I should clarify this. I am not a Walt Disney fanboy.
Okay.
In the sense of like, I admire the hell out of what he built.
Mm-hmm. And do you like an occasional Disney product?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, I love Pixar.
Okay.
And I like a lot of the Disney movies, and I also would take shots at many of the Disney things.
Sure.
But I'm less interested in him from one of those I can't remember the last time I was at Disneyland, and there's a lot of those Disney people who like dress and like Disney things.
Yeah, they collect pins. I've had a couple on. I've I've had Imagineers on, and I mean there's the fandom.
Yeah.
But you're just fascinated by the man.
By the man because
his childhood or his adult life.
Actually, but I'm actually most fascinated by the bookends, by the childhood and what happened to him in the last few years of his life.
How did his life begin?
Yeah, so he grew up like you and me. I'm from Michigan.
Okay.
He's a Midwesterner, and so he grew up in various places in the Midwest. His dad, I think, was not a very good businessman.
Okay.
Which I think starts to inform like, oh, he's going to be a reaction against his, screwy dad, and at some point, he winds up in this town of Marceline, Missouri. In Marceline, I think he's there for like 3 years, and it's at this time where like, you're like 8 or something like that, where it's like you're too young to be home with your mom, right? But you're too old to back what you would do then, like, or maybe he was too old to either be in school maybe it was like during the summer, or too old to like definitely work,
right?
So that left him to like wander out into the fields and like interact with nature. And I think this moment in this man's life, everything that happened in like the 2-3 years he was in Marceline,
right?
Everything shaped our entire world. And that's why I'm interested in it. Yeah.
Like his mind got expanded and affected so much in the summer of 1912.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah. I think what happened to Walt Disney in those formative years of his life left such an impact that he kept trying to recreate it over and over and over again. I can take you through that.
Yeah.
But it's neat, and it's to back up for a quick second. I think few people have built what Walt Disney has built. And again, I don't say this as a fanboy. I say this as just objectively.